Hey players, it's IJ Plays as always, and welcome to the channel. I have another video for you today, and I know it's going to be a good one, so check it out. The reviews for ViewFinder are in, and they're pretty damn good. Awards will be won, I guarantee it. Before we dive into it, I've made timestamps in this video, so if you want to jump forward to the live breakdown review, go for it. Let's get into it. Starting off with Steam, as you can see, all reviews very positive out of 1,346 reviews. So that's a very good sign there, I would say. Let's take a look at some of these comments. Incredibly well implemented and innovative mechanics. Reminds me of Portal. However, it is tremendously short for the price. Easily beat it without getting stuck in less than 4 hours. So everybody likes the concept, but for the price and how short it is, could be better. I can agree with. I played this game, beat it in about, let's say, 6 hours. Kind of took my time with it. I made some videos, so I did kind of take it slow and just want to enjoy it. And you guys can check the other video out. I will make sure that's at the end of this video. But continuing on, really awesome game. Best way to describe it would be a mix of Portal and Superliminal. I'm getting that a lot. Superliminal and Portal, very close comparison. Those two will probably take about 4-ish hours for the campaign. Yep. So look, we're getting an overall positive sentiment about this game. Me, I loved it. I mean, I never played it before, never played that type of game, not familiar with Portal or Superliminal, so it was my introduction to it. So I definitely loved it. Definitely going to get a reward. So let's move on to Metacritic. Metacritic, from critic reviews, 22 of them, 81. So I would say that's damn good to me. User score 7.1, so mixed. So we have mixed reviews. And look, we already got an award here. Number 30, best PlayStation 5 game of 2023. That's great. So just from looking here, let's see. I kind of see what's going on with the, why we're getting a mixed feel. I've seen a lot of positive, but let's see some of the negatives, I would say. It's ironic that a game all about breathing life into pictures can't breathe life into its own core mechanic. Witnessing a flat picture expand into something tangible or using photography to reposition an existing stage is a technical marvel that hardly goes beyond being just a visual spectacle. These systems deserve much more than that, but like film lacking contrast, it's underdeveloped and only a faint outline of what it should be. Honestly, I can't completely disagree with that. I mean, it's 25 bucks. It felt like a tech demo. Well, not completely a tech demo, a little bit more, because I did see some assets being, kind of just reused, but the colors were still nice. And like I said, I was introduced to this, so this is my first time like experiencing a game that has these mechanics, so it was refreshing to me. But I could definitely see, if you've played games like Portal and the other one that we just mentioned, I could see this being something that's like, okay, well, I felt this before, they probably should have gone deeper with this. So I definitely understand that, but to me overall, I enjoyed it. And so let's take a look here. We do have an article from New Game Network, and so I like their view on it. Let me know in the comments what source you use for your gaming news. I try not to use IGN and GameStop all the time, so I kind of try to mix it up just so I'm able to get a nice variety of reviews. So from presentation, there are moments where ViewFinder really astounds with visual creativity. However, its largely clinical look feels like a poor man's riff on other puzzle games. Jeez. Gameplay, the controls may not always be perfect, but the gimmick of the title is totally unique. Using still images to create pathways and replicate objects is a fantastic mechanic, and one that never gets stale. It never got stale to me. It was so awesome to take, like, at one point you get a copying machine, at one point you get your own camera. You have, I think, up to three, you can take up to 3 pictures per level, and so it's cool to be able to copy things and just move. It was just so cool just to bend your environment to your will almost. Single player, you can mostly ignore the storyline, but the levels are all fantastic. The game does a great job of ramping up the challenge and introducing new mechanics so that you won't feel overwhelmed but will still be challenged. And for performance, no major issues while playing on the Steam Deck. Load times can drag occasionally. I was on PS5, so my load times were pretty good and pretty smooth. No FPS drops. Everything felt pretty clean and nice to me. Overall, ViewFinder is a delightfully fresh and enjoyable puzzler. The unique photo dropping gimmick is implemented perfectly and repeatedly built upon over the course of the campaign. Some elements outside the gameplay could have used work, but this is still a solid debut effort, which I agree. A debut effort, that's what I'm stuck on. It was a debut to this concept with the cameras, for a game that has for a game that was debuting that, I could live with that. It was 25 bucks, took 4 to 6 hours to beat. I have no true complaints. If anything, for people who've already experienced this type of play, I could see them wanting more out of the game. But overall, I think this pretty much sets the tone for this type of mechanic in the game. So I'm definitely hyped for it, and I feel really good overall about the game. So let's go ahead, let's check a video out and see what they have to say. All right, we have a video review from Easy Allies. What I'm going to do moving forward is that whenever I do my video reviews, I'm going to choose a random person, whether it be a small content creator or a bigger one. I'm going to get insight on how all these other channels are reviewing games, and so I want to keep it random, and just so it's kind of it feels fresh, not super repetitive, and I could kind of give a platform to other people who are on the scene when it comes to gaming reviews. So I think that's fair, and I'm sticking to it. All right, let's get into it.
Sometimes an idea can feel like absolute wizardry and remind you that there are things that can truly only be done in video games. ViewFinder is one of those games, making you gasp in disbelief when you first see its mechanics in action, then taking you through a tour of puzzling scenarios that allow you to think playfully to accomplish your goals.
Seriously, they did give you like a decent amount of freedom. Like there was, sometimes you didn't get the perfect answer, but you got an answer to the puzzle, so if that makes sense. But you basically had the freedom to kind of solve the puzzles how you would like.
At the core of ViewFinder's gameplay is the ability to take a 2D image, hold it out in front of you, and then place it into the world to create a whole new slice of explorable 3D space. At first, the concept is introduced through a series of photographs lying around that you can use to build bridges, enter new rooms, and access various devices. You can rotate photos to turn ceilings into floors,
that never got old.
Above you to have an item fall out of the sky, or set something below you to catch your fall. And since any photo you position replaces the objects that were there, you can even punch holes through walls or accidentally destroy things if you aren't paying close enough attention. There are even fun ways to mix it up, like sketches, paintings, and game screens that come to life.
Yeah, that blew my mind. You see the basic, picture of the house. You're able to go through that house. It's just awesome. Like they make sure to each puzzle, they kind of took it to the next level. I mean, they didn't go crazy with it, but they did add more dimensions to the puzzle. So that was pretty awesome.
And allow you to explore dramatically different visual styles. That's impressive enough on its own, but before long, ViewFinder actually gives you your own camera, allowing you to take photos of anything you see and place them anywhere you want. So if you see a long walkway someplace, you can take a photo of it, then place that walkway somewhere else to use it as a bridge. If you need 2 batteries to open a teleporter, just snap a picture of the one in front of you to make a copy.
In the video, when I first figured out you could make copies of the batteries, I almost lost my mind. I'm going to make sure I put that in the recommended videos at the end of this. So check it out and make sure you comment and let me know what your experience was when the game really felt like it took it to the next level for you. So let me know in the comments. Let's chat it up there.
It's alive. It's alive.
While this can easily allow you to break things in a variety of ways, ViewFinder has 2 key tools that prevent this from becoming a problem. First of all, you can rewind at any time. Double tapping the rewind button serves as an undo that pops you instantly back to the last photo you snapped or placed.
Yeah, I was spamming that rewind button. I'm not going to lie.
Limited to a set amount of film in each level, so you can't just endlessly take photo after photo. The balance of these 2 aspects allows you to freely experiment, but still pushes you to figure out a solution, since you have to carefully consider how things are positioned and what you can accomplish in the number of shots at your disposal.
Yeah, not all the puzzles were that hard. If you paid attention, you could pretty much freak them out. I mean, there were some I was stuck on for like 30 minutes because I don't know, it was late at night when I was playing it sometimes, but I eventually figured out. So they all aren't that hard, even though they took it to the next level with the dimensions and how complex the puzzles were. They were never truly that hard.
Whoa, this place definitely feels different than what we've seen so far.
You progress through ViewFinder via a series of teleporters. Sometimes you merely have to figure out how to get to a teleporter to complete a level. Other times, you need to collect batteries or interact with various types of switches to power up a teleporter before you can leave.
Okay, it's not a complaint, but there were some levels where I think I would say I was pretty deep in the game and I was like, that was it. But like I said, The games as sometimes did feel like there should be more here, but let's keep it moving.
Not every puzzle has distinctly alternate solutions, but the broad nature of being able to use whatever you want, however you want, prevents the game from feeling like an answer is simply right or wrong. One thing that takes time to learn is judging distance from different perspectives.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Figuring out how to position your 2D photo in a way that the 3D result will appear where you expect it to. However, it's this ambiguity that allows even replays through the same level to feel a bit different every time. Shortcuts are encouraged, and there are all sorts of extra things to play with, like Tetris blocks that you can drop out of the sky, or robo-vacuums that you can turn into an army of clones.
That was fun playing with that. I remember that.
One thing that ViewFinder does remarkably well is that it keeps things simple while consistently adding new mechanics to chew on. Every few levels, you're introduced to some new idea or unexpected limitation with several iterations to expand on that idea and mix it together with other things you've already learned.
Yeah.
The solutions you need to work out don't veer into frustrating affairs with convoluted series of steps either. When we actually did find ourselves stumped on some puzzles for a few minutes, the solutions that eventually came to us seemed so obvious that we felt like idiots in hindsight.
Yeah, literally. I was like, oh, it was that simple? I was just thinking way too hard.
Once you've completed a set of levels, you'll find yourself back in one of several hub worlds with a series of teleporters
The hubs are
leading
cool.
to more levels.
I
as
thought the
well as
hubs are
optional
cool.
Challenges. These connecting areas aren't very large, but they each reflect the different characters they're associated with and have their own sets of collectibles to unlock, including a group of rubber duckies. Additionally, as you complete more levels, you also unlock various camera filters, allowing you to customize the visual style of the photos you lay down.
It was an overall peaceful game. It was just
Speaking of
such a
characters,
joy to play this game.
ViewFinder's story largely leaves it up to you to determine how much you want to engage with it. Most of the dialogue is delivered through record players and journals scattered throughout the levels that you can simply choose not to interact with if you don't
I know hearing that you think of Fallout 76, but it was better. I promise.
want to. However, you do hear periodically from a friend monitoring your progress through this virtual world, and you soon meet the lovable record keeper from the simulation in the form of a pudgy cat named Kate.
That cat confused the hell out of me for the first time I met it. I was like,
The story does
what?
suffer somewhat from a sense of tonal disconnect. Your characters in the present, as well as those you learn about from the past, are all dealing with dire, desperate circumstances. Meanwhile, the game world, with its cute knickknacks and soothing jazz, all seem to be communicating a cozy, laid-back atmosphere.
Yeah, that's crazy how the game overall was cozy, laid back, had an ominous feel, but they're literally trying to. The story kind of has a serious tone to it. It has like global warming, trying to fix things like that. I don't want to, spoil it too much, but the game has released, so you should be, if you're interested, you should be playing this game by now. It's worth the $25, I promise.
Decorated with chairs that invite you to sit down and take it easy. The overall reasons for why your character's here seem to have little connection with what you're doing moment to moment.
Yeah, shit was random sometimes, but I was there for the levels and the mechanics. Like from the previews,
Stronger story
from the previews of the game, I hope there was an expectation that this was supposed to be like a deep, detailed story. I think everybody knew what they were getting into when they saw this. Like, hey, I'm here to take pictures and solve puzzles. Like, hopefully you weren't thinking of like a AAA title with the price and the, the tech demos that we saw as well too.
Have elevated ViewFinder more, but that does little to detract from the mind-bending mechanics of its puzzles and the smooth construction of its design. ViewFinder strikes an excellent balance between providing puzzles with intentional, satisfying solutions, while also giving players freedom to experiment and come up with their own ideas. Plus, once you've finished, it's a joy to then watch someone else discover its wild and inventive mechanics.
Final score
8.5 out of 10.
I agree. I'll take the 8.5 out of 10.
Thanks for watching our review.
Appreciate that, Easy Allies. Appreciate the video review. Let's look at the comments. I didn't realize they gave you your own camera at some point. That just ramps it up. Super cool mechanics. Yeah, that was cool because at first they introduced a printer. I was like, oh shoot, this is awesome. And then when you had your own camera, next level. All right, it wasn't that crazy, but it just felt good. It was cool. I saw this at Day of the Devs earlier this year and it looked insane. Instantly jumped to the top of my anticipated games list. I had no idea it was planned to be out so soon after. Very excited. Yeah, in the PlayStation Store, in the PlayStation Store, it didn't show the release date till almost like a day or two before, so I was kind of confused. I have loved this game since I first played Echo Chrome. The demo was super engaging. Can't wait to dive into this one. This shit was way too cool. Every time I see this gameplay, I'm like, holy shit. Holy shit, you can't do that. It's definitely mind-bending stuff, but this game is, I think, an awesome experience. I mean, please don't set your expectations too high. It is $25. It only lasts 4 to 6 hours, but it is definitely worth the buy. I can see this game winning an award for sure. I feel like it's almost a guarantee because it's just so refreshing, and it introduces people to this genre as well too if you didn't play Portal or those other games. Well, I'll end it there. I do appreciate you checking out the video. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe. I appreciate anything you do, but until then, I'll see you in the next one.